don't wait, and with Adobe Express, you don't have to either. We bring the right tools to you and your team, so you can design anything as soon as you think of it. Work with who you want, how you want, wherever you need to. With the brands you already know and love, and the add-ons your team needs to work smarter, not harder. Create anything, anywhere with Adobe Express.
Hello, developers and creatives. My name is Marichae. I'm a product manager on the Adobe Express extensibility team. I support our embed strategy, which helps meet users where they are, bringing creative tools directly into the platforms that they're already using. I'm really excited to give you a brief overview of the SDK, but I'm even more excited to hear from our partner at Miro, and they'll give you a demo at the end. So a little bit about the SDK for those of you who aren't familiar with it. The Adobe Express Embed SDK offers easily integrated and modular tools for your users to create standout content without leaving your platform. We have several modules available, including a generate image module, an edit image module, a full editor, and various Adobe quick actions like remove background and animate from audio. These help streamline creative tasks and get users to done faster. Packed with powerful generative AI capabilities, our generate and edit image modules that you see on the screen have quickly become a partner favorite. Not only are they available to all developers, but we've released significant enhancements to both. For our Generate Image module, developers can now configure a custom community wall. This helps give your users inspiration that really resonates. We also support delayed login, so users can see and access images from the community wall before being required to log in. And of course, we know that images can only be as good as the prompt, and it's really hard to write good prompts. So for logged in users, we also support prompt suggestions. Our edit image module, also packed with generative AI capabilities like GenFill, you can now pass images directly from the generate to the edit image module. So instead of users editing that flat image, they can also re-edit the prompt as part of that editing experience. We also have significant performance gains like 35 to 50% faster load time and a 32 to 35% lower memory use. We're also working on new modules to support template browsing and simple editing experiences. For our template browser, we know that Express has a wide array of templates and collections that are available to users, and developers will be able to surface either custom collections or existing Adobe Express collections to further give users something to start with. This is a significant improvement to what we've seen with the full editor, where users always had to start from scratch. On what you see on the right is our Adobe Express Card Maker beta. The Embed Extensibility team is working on simple editing experiences similar to what you'd see from the Card Maker today. And so stay tuned for more updates coming in Q3 around these new modules. Whether you're building a tool for sports fans, for teachers and students, or for business professionals, we think that the Embed SDK has a place to support you, empower your users' workflows. You can always learn more at our website, but we're really excited today that you'll be able to learn more from our Miro team. Before I pass it over, again, just want to share a big thank you to everyone at the Miro team, and especially Warwick. We've had such great collaboration with them, and we're so excited about what we'll be able to do together. Warwick?
Thank you very much, Marichae. Hello, everyone. My name's Warwick. I'm a product design manager at Miro, and I've been working on the bringing in the Adobe Express experience into Miro and enabling our customers to sort of streamline that workflow from collaboration on Miro to content creation with Adobe Express. Before I dive into a bit of a demo, I want to take us through what Miro is and sort of why we exist. So really, it comes down pretty simple. We're here to enable you to build the right thing faster, transitioning from the discovery, define, and deliver stages as quickly as possible. Throughout this project with Adobe, I've interviewed customers working in sort of architectural industries, education from either both teachers and students, obviously marketing and brand professionals, digital R&D teams, logistics teams, e-commerce, and the possibilities are endless. And so to start off with, I thought I'd just touch on a few use cases and how we used Miro with the Adobe team to collaborate on this project. So one of the key things is sharing early, sharing often around the content that we're creating. And this example here is some user journey flows that we'd explored between a Miro and the Adobe Express experience. So here you can see we've outlined the journey and the team is collaborating, commenting. We did a range of sync sessions on that, and we had a range of open questions. So we also documented these within a structured format like a data table, and then moved through those decisions to create alignment and directions forward using a Miro boards, but also with some fun and a bit more intuitive widgets like our alignment scale here that we can use. We then brought everything together as we were going into public beta with bringing all the delivery and all the assets onto one canvas. So you get a bit of a holistic view into the product and how we're launching it so everyone can get on the same page and then dive into details around specific things. So for example, here we've got websites. We've also got a range of Adobe Express projects, but we also have the existing posts that went out. And as they went out, we collected this information so everyone could follow along. And at the top, we have a general sort of overview of what needs to be done. So Miro is great at moving people through those phases as quickly as possible. But enough talk, I thought we'd get into a bit of a demo. So here we have a bit of a board. I'll just take you through. This could be an example board of how someone's going through a project. So we have a lot of brief information, team is collaborating. We have the same research and design, defining different experiences, and then development, approaching technical documentation. And Adobe Express could fit into these for small editing capabilities, but also larger marketing and go-to-market strategies. So here today, I'm going to dive in. We have a little timeline where we want to release content, and we have these marketing assets. So my first example use case is a pretty simple one. I've come on here and I want to create a bit of new content just for an internal presentation, and I want to steal some things that the marketing team has created. So I come in here and I take a bit of a look, and I decide I want to take this image. So I duplicate it out. And then this is just an image, just a PNG that we've added to the page. And I'm like, I really want this asset. In the old way, we would have had to reach out to a designer, figure out, get someone to export this and send it through. And especially with time zones and remote companies, that could take a long period of time. But with the new integration and some of the features in Adobe Express, we can open up the image editing module in this case. Go straight in here and just simply remove background. Like super quick, especially the new V2 module. It is much faster. So we're really happy to see that improvement come. And then you can basically save that back to the canvas. And so then I could use this in a presentation mock. Say I want to create a new title slide of this. I can then replace this slide with this one. And I have a transparent PNG to work with. And I didn't really have to reach out to anyone. And while this one is just a simple internal use case, we see a lot of users as we've been testing, finding a lot of value with this because it really just speeds up that life cycle of editing and bringing new content to life. The second use case is a project on the canvas. So for example, one of the marketing team has dropped this here, and I'm coming in as the designer. And I see a bunch of feedback. We sent this out maybe yesterday and we've got some feedback. So we've got any better copy ideas, and the headphones are a little bit distracting around this person. So this is an Adobe Express project on the canvas. I'll show you how to add one in a minute, but this existing one, I can quickly hit edit. And this takes the project ID, and that's all. We don't share any user information. We don't share any board information. We take just the project ID. I'm now logged into Miro, Adobe Express, and I can go straight into editing. This is a layered file that I can edit. So first of all, I decide to handle this earphones. This is a flat image. So I'd normally in a past use case, I'd have to reach out to brand, maybe see if they took some different photos. But this case, I want to just remove object. So I've done this a few times. Let's see how we go. So quick little brush. I won't go too much into the Adobe Express experience because I'm sure everyone here is more familiar than that with Miro. But the fact that this streamlines and improves that sort of speed that we can move on quick edits is just amazing. And so then I'm done. Headphones gone. And then I want to create a range of copy options. In the past, I'd have to duplicate this many times on the canvas and maybe have different versions of this downloaded and then uploaded to Miro. And all that takes like additional time. Here, I can just duplicate the page and then I can do some copy changes. So first of all, let's simplify it as a bit. Keep your money safe, something like that. I'm no creative copywriter, so we'll go again. We'll duplicate this again. Oh, I deleted, my bad. I'll duplicate again, and now we've got 3 pages. So we'll go with Wealth Secure. Don't overly like that that's wrapping multiple times, but let's go with that. And then in this case, we've now got 3 pages in the Adobe Express experience. So I could choose a few things in this case. Instead of replacing the image that was on the canvas, because that has feedback, that has people looking at it, maybe we want to go back to that in the future. I can save as new. And then all I have to do is tick all pages and bring that back to the canvas. So that, again, it's simply exporting the images and speeding up that sort of time that it would take you to export. Now, this was a different size because I zoomed at the same time. But then we've got our 3 new versions on the canvas that we can then send out for feedback to people. And everyone on this board, they all have access, they all have the ability. Maybe a developer is looking at it and they're like, oh, actually, maybe I should work on some security features. I don't know. And then the final example is a project from scratch. So you've been working in Adobe Express. You've created a new layer of content, say a marketing post or a blog post image or a slide deck or anything. It could even be a video. And you want to bring that into the canvas to get a range of feedback. So you just open Adobe Express. I've already pinned it here, but you can obviously find it in the discovery menu. And then this will open up the full editor. Anytime you open a new file, you get the full editor. So you can use all the features. When you edit an existing an image on the canvas, you get the image editing module. So here we've got a new file here. I can add this to this project. I'll just quickly delete this page. And then simply, you don't even have to edit it. You definitely could if you wanted to, but you can just save that to the canvas. And then that brings a new file into the canvas that you can edit. Now, anyone that has access to this project in Adobe Express can edit this. So if another designer came along and they had access to the project, they could also edit this as well. But now you can go back into that editing loop and enable that quick editing, which is super quick. So let's just change this to 1 click and maybe change a bit of the layout as we know, and then I'll save this as new again. And I have a new project on the screen. So we've got a couple of options there, super quick, being able to edit this. And so all the features of Adobe Express are now available, and it's really there to just streamline that experience between Adobe Express and that sort of logistics of downloading, uploading, sharing out content. And that is, I think, one of the biggest advantages. And anyone working on content, the less sort of steps involved, the faster it is to getting feedback, which is the faster it is to improving whatever you're working on. So again, just really just making it easier for our customers. So there you go. That's the demo. Marichae, back over to you.
Thank you so much, Warwick. It's super funny. I think everyone on our team now will tell you, I love and use Miro. They can't get away from it. I'm putting all of my sources of truth. I'm collaborating with the content team. I'm collaborating with the marketing team. So it's been so fun getting to work with your team. It's been so fun learning how to use Miro myself, and even cooler to see Adobe Express and how I can, better work with the tools that I'm using. Something I love about the Miro integration that we kind of saw a little bit in your demo was the ability to save and replace and save as new for when you're editing an asset. I think that was kind of a new learning or a paradigm for our team, putting Express in a collaborative tool and understanding users want to be able to save or as a new one so that they can see the iterations over time. What do you think has been your biggest learning throughout the development cycle?
Yeah, I was really happy when we could bring that feature to there, because as a lot of people, it's always duplicate, edit, duplicate, edit. And with this transition, we want to enable that sort of duplication naturally. So I think that was a really good feature that we brought early on. I think the biggest learning for me is we initially went with the full editor when editing an image. So if you just wanted to edit a PNG, we went with the full editor. But through testing and talking to our customers and seeing how customers use them, we realized there's really specific use cases that they want to go when they're going from a flat image. It's different when they go from a full Adobe project, of course, but when they go from just a PNG, we identified a range of specific use cases. So being able to flip to the image editing module really helped us sort of add additional value and simplify the experience at the same time for our customers. And I think the delayed login was also a big one there, especially with a lot of new users coming into Adobe Express. I think that delayed login shows that value, enables
100%.
people to see the possibilities. And I think that's pretty awesome. So, yeah.
Nice. What feedback did you get from users during our kind of beta phase that have helped influence our design decisions? I think one of them was, you said was shifting over to the edit image module. How did you incorporate that feedback, and what other feedback did we hear from users?
Yeah, definitely. I think, swapping over to the image editing module, we were able to do that really quickly with the SDK. We talked about it. We had those user testing sessions and we synced with the team. And then within a sprint, I think we got the swap happening and internal testing happening. I think the other big learning is there's really, and maybe I'm simplifying things, but there's two types of personas here. There's sort of the more established persona, which is a marketing professional or a content creator, and the journey that they use going from template onto the canvas with much more advanced projects, maybe multi-page or video projects, etc. And we're doing a lot of work there. Hopefully we'll be releasing a blueprint, which will enable people to start from scratch and move much faster to something of value. And then there's the just, I want to edit something. And Miro essentially is a creative tool, but Adobe Express has all those advanced editing capabilities. And we saw a lot of individuals that were just product managers or teachers that were like, yeah, I wanted to quickly mark this up, or I wanted to quickly just edit this image to fit into this presentation or this workshop. And now I can. And I think that was a really big one for me. And that's one of the reasons we went to the simplified editor, because that use case wasn't one of the reasons we started it, but it's been one of the strong reasons that we've seen usage. So I think that's really awesome.
Totally. I think that one big thing that I'm excited about is understanding how those marketers versus those people who are just looking to do an image will want to interact with the canvas. I really appreciate how you've made it so if I edit an image, I start in the edit image module, but now that I've learned and I've done something, if I re-edit it, I can actually see that in the full editor, so I can get the full breadth of Adobe Express capabilities kind of over time when I need them, and not just when I'm trying to do kind of a simple task. What advice would you give to other partners who would consider embedding Adobe Express into their platform?
I think the easiest one is start early. The SDK, like when we decided to pick up this project, we synced with Adobe, and from an engineering team, the SDK was really easy to start using. So we built a proof of concept within a week. We didn't sit around in designs for ages. We put it in the hands of internal users. So I think for anyone thinking about exploring the SDK is go and play around with the demos. That's one of the things I did straight away to help me familiarize myself when we started mapping user journeys and possibilities, and then get the engineers to build it. And we had some poor prototypes up and running pretty quickly, and we obviously figured out how to improve them. But I think that was the easiest way to show value is put it in the hands of people. And once we get an internal build up and running, it's really nice to just sit down, do some hallway tests, pick people up over coffee and like talk to them about what they would use it. Internally, we have marketing teams, we have brand teams, this kind of stuff. I was going and messaging them and inviting them for coffee to see what they would use it for and explore it. And I think that added a lot of value and shaped our learnings really quickly. So don't overthink it is my suggestion. The SDK exists. It's really easy to integrate with. So I just go for it.
We appreciate that. I know our teams have worked really hard to make it as easily to configure for developers as possible.
Even the upgrade to the V2 image editing module. I put that task in. We chatted about it one day, and then the engineer the next day was like, "Yep, it's done."
I didn't even think you guys would have configured it. I wasn't ready. I had to respond and react once I shared it. So that was really
I was surprised
great.
as well. It was really good.
Yeah. I guess the last thing that I'll ask you is why Adobe? Why not build this yourselves? You have kind of an open developer marketplace. What do you think makes this partnership and integration special?
Yeah, I think obviously there's the Adobe Express side of things. I think there's enabling users that love our canvas to get additional functionalities and capabilities. And Adobe Express and Adobe in general is a creative company that has really sort of defined that content creation and editing and creative sort of market. And we wanted to take advantage of all that. And because of the developer experience here and the SDKs that are available, it allowed us to do that really quickly and move forward really fast to validate this with customers. And I think for us, it's about bringing people together and enabling innovation to happen, as I said before, through that discovery and define stages. So we, in the long run, don't necessarily want to dive into becoming an editor of images. And so being able to sort of utilize all your functionality there and bring that value to our customers so that they can stay in Miro and speed up their workflows, I think is really important for us.
Nice. Well, it was so great to hear from you, Warwick. Thanks again for giving us this demo. I'm really looking forward to continuing to work with you and make this integration better. We're looking forward to getting feedback from our developer community as well. We are still in beta, so we're looking for ways that we can continue to refine the experience. So yeah, we appreciate the time. And
definitely. And thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, obviously, working on this project, but also talking today. If anyone here listening wants to try it out, it's available for free accounts and most accounts in public beta. If your account doesn't have beta available, then yeah, unfortunately, you won't be able to get it until we go live, but hopefully that'll be soon. So thank you very much.
Developers Live. Developers Live. Developers Live.